Welcome to Rob on Holiday. Today we're at Chester Zoo, which is one of the UK's premier zoos. We're going to be taking a look around and see all the animals and see what else that the zoo has to offer. Chester Zoo is one of the largest and most popular zoos in the UK. It's home to over 37,000 animals from more than 500 species. In fact, in 2024, Chester Zoo was voted as the best zoo in the country by TripAdvisor. As Mancunians, we've visited Chester Zoo many times over the years, but this was our first visit in 4 years, so a lot had changed. And in this video, we'll be taking you with us on our recent trip to Chester Zoo to show you why this is such a great family day out. Chester Zoo is located just 3 miles from Chester city centre, and it's close to the M56, making it an easy drive from anywhere in the northwest. Chester Zoo is also very popular, so I'd recommend booking your tickets online before your visit. Tickets cost £35 for adults and £27 for children most weekends, although prices do vary. And another quick tip before we get to the vlog. Download the Chester Zoo map or print it out to take a copy with you before you leave for the trip. It's available for free on the zoo's website, yet when you get there they charge for a copy. The zoo doesn't open until 10 o'clock, but you can get through the gates at 9:30, come to the snack stand, grab a coffee and a cake while you wait to go into the main part of the zoo. The zoo is so big that you'll want to take a logical route around the different sections. We like to go around in an anti-clockwise direction, starting with one of the newer areas of the zoo, the islands. The islands were inspired by the islands of Southeast Asia, including Bali and Sumatra, and the reason we head here first is to ride the Lazy River boat trip. The Lazy River boat trip is included in the price of your ticket and takes you on a 10-minute tour of the island's exhibits. On your trip you can see warty pigs, bantengs, gibbons and Sumatran orangutans. It's a great way to start your day at the zoo. When we got through the entrance at Chester Zoo, we headed straight over to the islands area, which is a really nice area representing the islands around Indonesia and Philippines, for example, Sumatra, Bali, Borneo. And the reason we headed over here was to get on the boat ride before it gets really busy. You can see now it's the boat coming past, it's not too busy, but if you leave it till later in the day, the queue can build up. I mean, there are signs in the queue saying 30 minute, 45 minute wait from here, and you don't want that. Head straight over to the islands, get on the boat ride, and then you can walk around again and take in all the animals and the beautiful landscape. Most of Chester Zoo's exhibits are outdoors, but there are a few indoor spaces to visit. The first is the Monsoon Forest, which is actually the UK's largest indoor zoo exhibit. In this giant tropical greenhouse, you can find lots of birds and reptiles, as well as indoor and outdoor areas for the gibbons and orangutans. This is the impressive Monsoon Forest building. To be honest, it's a bit like a centre park for orangutans, macaques and birds. And it's very warm, so if you're cold, come in here. The good thing about Chester Zoo is you do pay a lot of money to come in, the entrance fee, but you do get a lot for your money. And not only that, they're always continually expanding. This section here, it's called the African section. It's going to be a savannah section with lots of African animals. It's opening in 2025, and you can see it's still under construction over there. After exploring the islands, it was time for lunch. So we headed to Monado Street Kitchen, one of the main dining locations at the zoo. A good place to stop for lunch is the Monado Street Kitchen, which is just at the end of the island section. It's a really nice big area where lots of tables, and obviously they thought about the UK when it rains a lot. Got a big covered section here, we're sitting under it, and good atmosphere. So worth stopping here for lunch, I think. After our early lunch, we continued in an anti-clockwise direction, starting with the capybara, the world's largest rodent. In this area, you're also supposed to be able to see bears and tapirs, but we didn't see any on this trip. The next mini section of the zoo to explore is the elevated wooden walkway, which is the African wild dog enclosure. The walkway runs through the centre of the zoo and leads out to June's Food Court, the main dining location. This area of the zoo is home to the newest exhibit, the Himalayas. Here you'll find some snow leopards, or, in our case, one very sleepy snow leopard. I was impressed by the theming here though, with the signage and the prayer flags hanging over the main pathway. This is a nice new section at Chester Zoo, the Himalayan section. Really nice landscaping as ever throughout the new sections of the zoo. And it's home to the snow leopard. Now we did see the snow leopard, but it's a kind of half asleep in its house, which is more than the Sumatran tiger because we never see that whenever we come to Chester Zoo. But yeah, nice walk-through area, lots of slate here in the landscaping. Definitely something you put on your list when you're coming through all the animals in Chester Zoo. Moving over to the left-hand side of the zoo, we saw the giant otters and penguin exhibit, which is one of my favourites. There are areas to view the penguins standing on the rocks and swimming underwater. It's certainly a favourite with the kids. Right next to the penguin area is another new section, the flamingo exhibit. Chester Zoo has always been home to flamingos, but now they live on an island surrounded by a wooden walkway, offering visitors a great place to stand to watch their antics. After a close encounter with a Komodo dragon, it was time for the second of many ape and monkey exhibits, the realm of the red ape. An interesting thing about Chester Zoo is they have two separate areas where they have orangutans. Now we've already seen the Sumatran orangutans in the islands section, and this building here is called the realm of the red ape. I honestly don't know what type of orangutans in here, but we'll put it up on the screen and we'll show it when we get in. We went straight from the realm of the red ape to the round chimpanzee house, and when we arrived, several of the chimps seemed to be engaged in a heated argument. After a quick ice cream, we headed over to the jaguar house, where we also got to see the sloths making their way from one end of their enclosure to the other above us. Although we were coming to the end of our day at the zoo, we had saved some of the best animals for last. After seeing the okapi, we headed over to the giraffe area, where we got to see several baby giraffes. The giraffes thankfully decided that the Chester weather was bright enough for them to spend the day outside, which saved our noses from having to head inside the giraffe house. On the way back towards the entrance, we visited the lions and the camels before heading to see the elephants, who were enjoying a nice cool shower. And, as if we hadn't already had enough ape content in this video, we ended our trip to Chester Zoo at the Monkey House, where we witnessed an exciting game of spider-monkey tag. So that was our day in Chester Zoo, pretty much 5 hours to walk around, and we did most of the park. We went in a general anti-clockwise direction, started with the islands, so it's well worth doing early because it gets very busy, especially the boat ride, which is included in the price. Now, the price of entrance for an adult is £35 online. I believe it's slightly more expensive if you pay in on the day. So that's a lot of money, but is it worth it? Well, I would say yes, obviously, if you're interested in animals. They've got a massive variety of animals here at Chester Zoo. You don't always see them. For example, we walked past the cheetah enclosure, one of our favourite animals. To be honest, it didn't look like there were many cheetahs in there. It's very quiet if they were there. But there's a massive variety of animals anyway. I mean, we enjoyed seeing the penguins. The flamingo area is new since the last time we came. Some giant sea otters. Obviously elephants, orangutans, chimps. I mean, the list could go on. They've got a massive variety of animals here. The other thing I would say about Chester Zoo is the landscaping is superb. They're always working on something. There's lots of wooden walkways where you can walk above the looking at the trees and seeing the different animal exhibits. And they always seem to be developing an area that's new. I mean, we haven't been for 3 or 4 years. and certainly there was a couple of different sections that we noticed that we hadn't seen before. When they've got big areas like the Spirit of Jaguar, the Realm of the Red Ape, the Monsoon Forest with the Sumatran orangutans. There's so much to see. It's like, say, we did 5 hours, you could probably spend 6 or 7 hours here. So, Chester Zoo, definitely worth checking out. Thanks for watching Rob on Holiday. If you enjoyed the video, please subscribe, it helps the channel. If you've got any questions, put them in the box below and we'll try and answer them. Until next time, we'll see you, and thanks for watching.